Call the meeting to order. Resolution 218. Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Attendees, all council members, including Foreman, Colin Eisner, Trevor Wilkes, CAO, and Ken Malley, the fire chief, will be joining us a little bit later. Need a mover and a seconder for the hearing. Seconded by Leanne. All in favor? Carried. Approval of the agenda. Any questions regarding it? If none, we'll read resolution 219. Be resolved that the meeting agenda for the regular council meeting of June 3rd, 2025 be accepted as presented. Mover and a seconder. Derek, seconded by Gail. All in favor? Carried. Number 3, approval of previous meeting minutes. Any questions regarding the minutes? If none, I'll read resolution 220. Be resolved that the meeting minutes of the regular meeting of council on May 20th, 2025 be accepted as presented. Move in the seconder. Derek, seconded by. Right, all in favor? Carried. Number 4 on the agenda is delegation. Gary Foster.
Okay. Oh. Well, I'm here, fellas, to ask you some questions about that tax you or the bill you put on for the size of the pipe. Gary, when you get fuel from their bulk station, do they charge you for the?
Excuse me, Gary,
Yeah.
can you, because you're blocking the camera that's
Oh,
right
I'm
behind
sorry.
you?
Just sit, you can sit
Yeah,
down
just
there,
have a seat.
Gary.
Yeah, have a seat.
Get comfortable there.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to stay that long. No, like when you get fuel from the bulk station, comes out and fills your tank up, do they charge you for the size of the tank they come out to fill your tank?
Like when I get fuel, you mean?
Yeah, when you get fuel in your big tank.
Yes.
They come out and they fill it up, eh?
Right, correct.
They charge you the size of the tank that they haul it in?
No, they charge you how much I take.
That's right, through the meter. And what about the hotel? When you get a draught of beer, they charge you for the size of the cake or the size of the glass? What?
Yeah,
Size of the glass?
size of the glass.
Yeah. And what about when you get gas at the gas station? They don't charge you for them pipes that come up to bring the gas up. They charge you what comes out of the meter. So why am I getting charged for the size of the pipe that comes to my house?
I did a little bit of research on the water meters and stuff once this all come to light. To my knowledge, you have a 3/4 inch service feed to the house. Most
How
houses
big
do
the
that.
thing?
Am I
But
wrong?
that don't matter, Gary. You can have a 10-inch pipe, put a meter on it. Whatever goes through that meter, I pay.
Right.
I don't care what side of the pipe I'm hooked to.
I think,
That has no, I have nothing to do with that. That's your business.
you're right. I think just from what I've researched, like typical, you either have a 5/8 or a 3/4 pipe going through a meter that's set up for that.
But it don't matter what side of the pipe. You know, I can have a 10-inch pipe there. What's the difference? Whatever the
Well,
meter
that-
says, that's what I pay.
Yes, the only thing is on the bigger feeds.
But
like-
that has nothing to do with me.
No, no.
I shouldn't have paid for that pipe at any time. This $3 and some cents is nothing. It's the idea of what you're trying to get money for. I'll pay for what comes through that meter.
And that's what we are intending, that's what the meter is
But
intended
not for
to do.
$3.71, you're charging me for the size of the damn pipe.
think you
Okay.
should put it to the size of the meter rather than the pipe, because some of our pipes, I believe, have adapters that bring them down to 5/8 sizes.
It don't matter if it's got an adapter or unadapter or whatever. What that number says on that meter, I pay for it.
So
If you don't, you'll cut my water off, won't you?
can I provide some information?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I don't care about the size of the pipes or the color of the pipes. I wanna just pay for the water that goes through there. Am I wrong for asking that?
Trevor has some information to
Yeah, so we are, when it comes to water, we are governed by the public utility, like the Public Utility Board. They basically issue orders based on our application.
Okay, what happened to the last 30 years then when the water was running through these pipes? All of a sudden, this last month or so, now you guys decide, hey, the government said that we gotta charge for this. What for? What's it do for me?
Well, when it comes down to how we charge based on your meter size, the municipality doesn't have any authority over that. We have an order that was issued that we have to comply with. So the meter sizes are 5/8, 3/4, 1, 1.5, and 2.
You know, you stay on that goddamn 5/8 or 3/4 pipe, 2-inch pipe. I'm talking about the water goes through, charging for it.
Yes.
I don't want to pay for this $3 and some cents. That $3 is nothing, I mean. It's the idea of you charge me for the size of the pipe that comes through.
So
Charge me for the water that comes through the meter, nothing else.
unfortunately, again, it's the Public Utility Board that says these are the rates.
No, it's up to the council right here.
Uh,
If you want to charge for it, you'll charge for it, I know you will. And if you don't wanna, you don't have to. What happened to the last years? We were doing good here till all of a sudden, the same as the rates on, I paid $45 a year for about 10 years or till you got here. Then you changed it from 3 months to 1 month. My water, I had to jump the pay up to, it jumped $24.71 in that 3 months. Just for going from 1 month, or 3 months to 1 month. And then now it's jumped to $17.38 more. Since you raised, put these little things on there.
Is the recovery on that bill, Trevor? Like the deficit where we're starting to recover, was that on his bill, do you think?
No,
or-
because he has the last bill. We haven't sent the bills out this time yet. So at this stage, the bills we have right now, we have not sent any bills out for the month of May.
No, but I'm meaning not only his water, is the recovery where we have to start recovering for the utility, would that be part of the bill plus the water? Is that maybe where the difference is?
So part of, this,
We'll have to explain that to Gary too, maybe.
yeah, so back in 2022-ish, I believe it was, quite a ways back, the municipality applied to the Public Utility Board based on, this is the application to help cover our deficits in the water utilities, because over the last that year, the previous 13 years, for a total of 14, give or take a year, we were running deficits, and we had accumulated deficits in our water utility. We are not able to have a deficit, we have to do recovery. So in 2022, probably started maybe even as early, the application started to be developed. In 21, we began an application to the Public Utilities Board saying this is our strategy as far as rates and pricing that we will charge in order to bring our utilities back into the black from being in deficit situations. So the Public Utility Board reviewed our application, they approved it, they accepted it. They issued us an order because municipalities in Manitoba cannot set their own water utility rates. They have to be set by the Public Utility Board and then they implement those rates. So at this stage, Public Utility Board said these are the rates that you charge.
I'm not worried about the rates. I'm worried about you charging me for that damn pipe that I hooked the meter
Yeah,
to.
which is where I'm going, I'm getting there. Just a bit of background because Councilor had asked for some background. So the Public Utility Board charges different minimum water rates on the amount, the size of the meter that you got. So the larger meters have larger minimums, the smaller meters have smaller minimums.
We understand
And-
that.
Yeah, and you pay that, and then you pay whatever you consume, if anything, beyond that. That is how your rates are determined. The only difference was a rate rider, and unfortunately, the rate rider back in 22 was, or October 23 was not implemented. And then we were doing a review now with our rate rider application projects now, we realized that the rate rider was not in place. So that's when we actually put the rate riders on, and we also adjusted our rates for 2025 water rates.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now, what about the service charge? What's that for?
Again,
Is that to make out the bill?
service charge is a charge that's set by the Public Utility Board.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't have to give the utility
Excuse
board,
me.
I'm just, you know, I mean,
No swearing
it
here.
makes me mad.
Again, the service charge is Public Utility Board charge as well. It's a monthly, it's a quarterly that we divide down by 3 to reflect a monthly. If there's a penny rounding error, we actually reduce it to a lower penny in order to stay compliant with the public utility order. So at this stage, those service charges are again set by the public utility based on the application that we submitted, I believe was in 2022. So right now, we are being governed by an order, which is what we're actually implementing.
I guess that answers that, doesn't it?
Do you mind if I just take a look at your bill, Gary?
Sure. Well, it's not the size of the money, it's the idea of it. And like service charge, what's my taxes do for me? Where's my taxes go? Show me what you've done for my taxes in Minitonas. Have you put some streets in, paved them? Have you put sidewalks? What have you done with my taxes? Doesn't it go somewhere to this kind of stuff?
Not to the water or the sewer, Gary.
I think what he's trying to explain,
Pardon?
he's already explained that the Public Utility Board, which is
Does the
not what
public-
you want to hear.
Does the public utility board get the money from here, you can give it to them, or you keep the money?
The money stays in our budget for the
That's
utilities per the actual Public Utility Board. So they tell us what to charge, i.e. rate riders, i.e. connection fees, bulk water, service charges, as well as your water consumption, as well as your sewer rate. They tell us what to charge, and we charge on that. When you saw those rate increases change, that's again because we had not put the rate rider on for previously. When we discovered that the rate rider was not on, we put it on right away in order to return to compliance.
I see he's got a rate rider fee of $3.71 on his bill, so that's starting to be,
So that's the rate rider, that's not the connection.
no.
No, that's rate rider. Like connection, you're doing only a connection if you're opening an account or closing an account. Actually, it's just if you're opening an account.
But I think
But
Do you want to see this? I
Yeah.
just was gonna
just
explain
the
it
rate
maybe
rider
to
part
Gary a
is
little.
what he's,
Yeah. Your fee for a 5/8 meter is those dollars, Gary.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got, a standard household meter. So your fee for that is the 1,000 gallons
Yeah, I understand
on that size.
Yeah.
You got a $3.50 or $3 and,
71 cents.
yes, rate rider.
do you know what
Yeah,
that
That's
rate?
not the price is, what I'm saying is not the idea, the item.
Yeah.
It's what you're charging it for. You know, I don't mind paying for what water I use.
Yeah.
So if we just took the wording rate rider, or the 5/8 wording out of there, would that be
Well,
okay?
it don't matter, I mean, you're gonna charge it to me anyway. But I wanna know why, you know, for the size of the pipe, doesn't matter if I had a 10-inch and you hooked the meter on.
Yeah.
You know, I only take so much out of it.
See, like the school and the
The school,
hotel,
the-
probably
oh, yeah.
that's gonna say an inch or an inch and a quarter, where yours
Well, they
says
got more
5/8.
because they got.
Because that's the type of service, just like
Yeah.
my hydro bill on the farm
Hotel.
is like a 200 amp or a 400 or 800, it just specifies.
But they charge you just for what you use
And
on
that's,
your meter.
yes, correct, and that's what this is doing here, because I see your gallons is 1,000 gallons, Gary.
Yeah.
that's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
You're right.
Yeah.
So
But
typically you
if
pay
you're on the eyes,
3,000
don't
on a
charge-
quarterly.
Just keep it to
Of course,
yourself
yeah,
down.
just
into
Yeah.
divide
the
the rate. That's what we do.
Right.
We divide the rates by 3 as well.
But I
those
will
rates-
tell you, oh, sorry.
No,
I will tell you one thing, your water is gonna be going up in the town, because there's been 13 years of losses, and the farmers and everybody that doesn't use water aren't expected to pay for water. It's the users of the utility. That's why it's separate financial wise.
Do you got a
and
meter
recovery.
out here to fill them tanks up when the guy comes along to fill it up?
Pardon me, Gary?
You got a meter on that water pump over here?
Yes, 85 gallons for $1.
That's not bad. I'd rather maybe I should run a hose from there to run my trailer.
Well, I think that's,
you use whatever size of hose you want.
I wanted by the water treatment plant. Can I just hook on the outside hose there?
well, I think you probably could if you wanted to, yes.
You got a 10-inch hose?
No, that's what the idea is charge me for the idea of that pipe, whenever it comes out of the ground, eh? And then, like, when they dug all the water in there, the guy had to pay from the from the front of the thing to there. So I mean, you get money all over the place and not get nothing out of it. Like my water is jumping all the time, like in 3 months, he just made the bill $24 more. Instead of paying once in 3 months.
We just popped a backup well in last year, and that was the tune of, I don't know the exact numbers, but 50, 60 grand perhaps? Yeah, so that comes out of the utility, and that's not the whole municipality paying for that water well. That's the people in Minitonas that use water, so.
Well, that's only fair. I mean,
Right,
it's fair
so
whether you use it,
the
you
end
pay for
result
it.
is the water has to go.
Yeah,
this
but
way.
you know, I just, things I don't understand, I just be a little upset,
Yeah.
and I don't listen to nothing.
I was just gonna ask you that.
So you're, not to be rude, excuse me, rude or anything, but to be allowed
Yeah,
15 minutes for
where I'm going
delegation.
now.
But I heard some of the questions that you had asked, are you satisfied with the answers, or?
It's gonna be the same at the end anyway, so it don't really matter. I just want to come and tell you what I thought, and that's it. It's up to you guys what you do.
But,
You know.
so you're certainly welcome to any council or whatever, if you're not clear on something, you know,
I
perhaps.
must be here every council meeting. No, I got you.
Join us.
I'll let you guys go.
Well,
to work.
in a year and a half, you will be.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks for
you.
coming.
Gary.
Number 5, protective services, citizens on before report. Anybody like to comment on the report, or have any questions?
I just have no question.
Well, hey, Clint, you were just about to start.
It was even.
Okay, I'll go after you.
The camera, who put the camera up and where is it? See, they installed a camera somewhere.
I know they put one up to, for the basketball nets at the earlier school, and then one towards the daycare playground, because they found used condoms and stuff in the kids' teepee, so they put one up there.
Is there any, we own that, do we not?
That's our property, yes.
Did anybody ask when they just put cameras up, or is there supposed to be signs up, like, is it legal?
I don't know if she talked to someone, I have no idea.
I just heard that she was planning on putting one up for the kids' playground equipment because of what happened there. That's the only one I knew about, Clint. Yeah.
Is there supposed to be signs up when we put cameras up?
No.
No?
I know at LP, we have to have signs up
That's kind of
warning
concerning.
you
'cause,
that
yeah,
you're on camera. It's the law there. I don't know if it applies here or not, but
Kind of means I could go put a camera up there if I wanted.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know
Yeah,
how it works with the kids going in and out of daycare and stuff. I have no idea.
I guess we could find out, being there's a daycare there, what's all involved, maybe, like do a bit of research on it.
If
Yeah,
the camera's on our property, we can put our cameras anywhere we want. There's no restriction as far as where we want to foreground. As long as your cameras are on your property, by the municipal property, there's no restrictions as far as what you put up, where you put up, or how you put it up.
And don't have to have signage.
As far as I'm aware, no, but I could look at that.
Could we check into that, Trevor, maybe?
Certainly.
If we could, please.
Yeah, but we didn't put them up. That's kind of the question.
I believe we had a discussion and we were talking about cameras. Not sure if it's specific to the COPP, but we do have budget for security, like $40,000 in our budget for that. I'm not sure, as far as, was there a resolution for it? To answer your question, no. But basically, we have had discussions with that, also with our bylaw enforcement officer. There was discussions about cameras there as well.
Yeah, I understand we had discussions, but it was just kind of news to me that all of a sudden there was cameras there, and me as a counselor didn't know nothing about on municipal property that a camera was going up, so that was my concern.
Yeah. I think there's been discussions though about cameras, specific locations, where, when, what kind of camera, no. But we have had council discussions in regards to cameras. Not a resolution saying
No
what goes
resolutions,
where.
exactly.
No, but discussions, yes.
Any other questions, concerns?
Just, I was going to comment, Candace sent me a picture. She set up an office in the early years, and she's got a meeting room office in one of the rooms there that actually looks quite nice. So she has a place to conduct, she has to meet with the police or whatever, I'm assuming, or any citizens.
Our monthly meetings too.
I will check.
She, yeah, because she also
has it.
cleans for the
That's right.
daycare stuff too.
Because that's what she was asking last.
Yes, so Trevor took care of that, and the meeting room is set up nice, so it's nice to see the space being used for something that
Yeah.
she needs space somewhere, so why not? We've got a pretty much half-empty building there, so.
Yeah.
So
They use
that was good.
they use it for storage as well too.
Yeah.
Signs and, yeah, good.
Yeah, so that's all I had to add to Candace's report.
Just going to add that it's a very good report, and it's very notable that all the amount of work that they do with the amount of hours. And I am pleased that there is a camera set up at the early years school, because remember when we had trouble with water damage, when somebody went up on the roof and plugged up all the drain pipes, and then we had all the water inside the flood, so I think we,
Oh, right, we put the rocks down the gutters.
yeah, so.
And pop cans and.
Yeah, and we wanted to see how they were doing up there.
Yeah. Anyway,
Trevor will check into the signage if we have to have that built.
Yeah.
Just the legality so that we don't get in trouble, so we're down the road, so.
Thanks, Trevor.
I'll read Resolution 221, to resolve that the Citizens on Patrol Program Activity Report, May 30, 2025, be accepted as presented. Mover and a seconder, Leanne, seconded by Derek. All in favor? Carried. Number 6, Public Works and Utilities, 6.1, 2025 gravel tender. Seeing we only received one tender. Everyone had a look at the tender that you
Took a
gave?
look at it last night, actually, yes.
I'll read resolution, 222, be it resolved that municipality of Minitonas-Bowsman award the 2025 gravel crushing, loading, hauling, and depositing tender to Campbell Construction.
We only had the one, Trevor.
We had a couple other inquiries, but it was submitted. One fellow asked about subcontracting. I said, well, put it tender, but it was just the one that arrived.
Okay, so there was inquiries, but nothing else
Yeah,
come out of the other inquiries.
Yeah, exactly, nothing about.
I need mover and seconder for the resolution. Moved by Ken, seconded by Gary. All in favor? Carried. Seven point one, finance.
I come in and looked through this afternoon. One there, check number 14064 for 1525. That one's going to be removed in the resolution because that never happened. That was the boot camp. And other than that, if anybody has any questions, I'll try and answer them for you. Sorry, Clint, check number,
64.
64.
did I say 65?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
14064.
Yeah, for the amount of 1525. Okay. Yeah, it's coming up, Clint.
Any other questions regarding the payable? Hearing none, I'll read the resolution 223. Be it resolved that the accounts payable checks 14038 to 14074 in the amount of $98,663.88, excluding check 14064 in the amount of $1,525, be accepted as presented and approved for payment. Mover and seconder. Derek, seconded by. Clint, all in favor? Carried. .1.1 payment of payroll pay period 11. Any questions on the, regarding the timesheets or the payrolls? None? I'll read resolution 224, be it resolved that the payroll pay period 11, 2025, for the period from May 10th to the 23rd, 2025, in an amount of $27,214.90 be accepted as presented and approved for payment. Mover and seconder, Gary, seconded by. Kent, all in favor? Carried. $7.1.3, payment of council per diems. Any questions? We'll read resolution 225, be it resolved that the council per diems, May 2025, in the amount of $8,380.97 be accepted as presented and approved for payment. Mover and seconder. Leon, seconded by. Dale, all in favor? Carried. .1, transport fiber route support letter. Any questions on what to supply to you for information?
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
Guess my only comment would be, The ball got dropped last time they asked for a letter because we had a change of personnel, and now we got a change of personnel happening again. So
This time it's done.
it's already done?
It's been done.
Okay.
The letter will be out as soon as you approve it. It'll go.
Okay.
It'll be prepared out the door by tomorrow.
That's awesome. Thanks, Trevor.
If there's nothing else, I'll read the resolution. Resolution 226, be it resolved that Municipality of Minitonas-Bowsman provide a letter of support to Westman Communications Group regarding its Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission Broadcast Fund Project for the construction of a new transport fiber route within the Municipality of Minitonas-Bowsman. Mover and seconder, Ken and Gary, all in favor? Carried. Eight point two, lot for sale.
I didn't realize there was an option two, yeah. So that kind of caught me off guard when I was going through that, so it's good. Is this lot like wide open yet? It is, eh? Like ready for building or whatever?
Yeah. There's nothing on it.
Just grass.
Yeah.
Okay, and surfaced, like it has
Yeah.
water and sewer
Yeah.
too, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's one thing on this in the actual policy, if you go to the policy document, it doesn't say what finished is. So would council be able to provide some guidance as far as definition of finished for this, or at least some guidance as far as some addition to this policy, because that question has come up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what is finished mean? Definition of finished.
I'll give you the lake version of finished. They call it lock-up stage or finish to the lake. That's sided, windows, doors, shingles. Inside can be bare bones.
So lock up then, basically your outside is, exterior is done, you're locked up,
Secured.
secured, so, now does that include siding and, building roof and stuff like that?
Yep.
So, okay.
And then inside is, yeah, take your time or get her done, whatever, I guess. It really doesn't, yeah, there's no real rules that I know of for that, I guess. I have no problem with it. It'd be nice to see something go there, and I realize they're gonna take a little time to do the work, so. Something is always better than nothing, in my opinion.
Why we created this policy.
Yeah. I somehow missed that one. I was just thinking the initial
Yeah.
policy was the only one. But I'm certainly open to the idea. Is my take on it.
Any other concerns from anyone else?
No, I think it's exciting to see somebody building in Bozeman.
I'll read the resolution then. Resolution 227, be it resolved that Municipality of Minitonas-Bowsman sell the lot located at 311 River Avenue South, Bozeman, legal description of 2-3083, title number 2445455-6 to Alyssa May Thorpenson for the sale price of $750. Mover and seconder. Clint and Leanne, all in favor? Carried.
Oh, go ahead.
Number 9, bylaw and policies, 9.1, sick leave policy, 228-2025.
Chair on this. I see entitlement increases that we're supposed to take
Just
off.
was gonna ask about
Yep.
that, Trevor.
So I'd like to have council table this, because we'll have to bring it to the next meeting. But basically, yeah, this policy, there's a, to do the edit over during the meeting would be too much, just to make
Yeah.
sure it's right. So I ask that we table this.
Okay. Everyone good to table?
Yeah.
Brings us to number 10, to announcements. Gary?
You know what, I haven't had any additional meetings between last regular meeting and tonight, so I have nothing, to report on.
Leah?
No, Ken went in my place for the report on the, I can't even think of what it is right now.
Rise.
Yeah, so.
Derek?
No meetings for me either. I didn't have nothing to talk about, no. Nothing here either.
Gail?
No, neither.
Ken?
Yeah, so like Leanne said, I went to that RISE meeting. Was fairly short and to the point meeting. Some of the highlights, Bill's supposed to be sending, I don't know if he did send yet, Trevor, 2024 financials for the RISE. And we voted and approved to try to hire somebody to finish off that guide that they've been working on for, sounds like forever and ever. So if you know somebody young who's looking for kind of a part-time summer job, might be a good fit. If they got the right sorts of skills, you can talk to Bill or Lance, maybe Leanne, I don't know too much about it. They're also looking for some more success stories for Minitonas-Bowsman area to include in the guide. They're also looking for ideas of what we would like to see RISE do for our area for economic development. And on that note, they mentioned that every RM is allowed 2 seats at the table, and we usually only have 1. So if we want to have a bigger influence, we could appoint somebody else to come to that. And the budget is going to be virtually the same as last year, which they thought was in the neighborhood of $11,000 from us would be our share. That was it.
Thanks for going in my place.
You're welcome.
I just have, Trevor and I received an email from the Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations. And in regards to, we were at that convention in, was it March?
April.
April?
I was with you?
No, the one prior to that,
Oh,
last fall.
Oh, the fall convention.
Yeah, that's what it was. Anyway, we received confirmation that the total operating grant for the municipality Minitonas-Bowsman is $232,540.30. That's what we're going to be receiving.
Okay.
And that's the one that's, there's no strings attached. We could use that money to go to whatever project we want. And so far they have, our first payment that we received and deposited, which represents 75% of the final grant amount, is $174,405.22.
That's been deposited.
Been deposited already. Yeah.
Good.
The remaining 25% will be distributed in September of 2025, so this fall. And also, in addition, your municipality will receive the full payment of its 2025 OMGRF. Can you help me on that?
Not off the top of my head, sorry.
And it's for an allocation of $14,660.15, which was also deposited of the new 5-year, oh, actually, that's the growth fund.
Okay.
And of course, reporting will have to be done on all the projects that the money was used for, and it has to be submitted by June 30th of 2025, or what is going forward to. Gary?
I just had a question I thought of when you were rattling that number off, $200 and some thousand. So how does that affect the budget? Like, because we can't really forecast.
No, we put a placeholder in and,
Yeah.
they actually advised us we were probably a little high and we were actually a fair bit lower, so this is good news.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering how that was relative to the budget, so that answers that,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
good, yeah.
Because at that time, the only information they gave us at that time was it going to be a per capita.
Yeah, per capita information pending.
Yeah.
Nothing to for a long, long time.
Okay.
So we were in the budget process and all of the service advisors were saying, keep it on your budget or budget very, very low.
Yeah.
So I think we put 50 or 75.
Oh, okay, so that's gonna be,
That's gonna be good. So-
okay.
Other than that, that's all.
Sorry, I maybe derailed you on your thoughts there.
No, that's fine. No.
Yeah.
Is there no further announcements then we'll, number 11, we'll move into camera. Resolution 229, be it resolved that pursuant to section 1523 of the Municipal Act, despite subsections 1 and 2, council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting containing discussion in camera regarding employee, land, legal, and matter that it's in its preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public would prejudice the municipality Minitonas-Bowsman's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations. Pursuant to section 83(1)D, council members shall keep in confidence the matter discussed at a meeting closed to the public under section 1523 until the matter is discussed at a meeting conducted in public. Pursuant to section 94(1)H, your council member becomes disqualified for breaching the requirement of confidentiality under clause 83(1)D. And the time being
6:42.
6:42. Mover and a seconder. After all that, Gary and Leanne, all in favor? Carried. Read the resolution to come on the camera. Resolution number 230. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 1524 of the Municipal Act, this meeting shall be reopened to the public. Moved by Ken, seconded by Derek. All in favor? Carried. Meeting adjournment. This be it resolved that this regular meeting of the council be adjourned at 9 o'clock. Mover and seconder, Leanne and Gail, all in favor? Carried.
Adjourned?
Adjourned.